welcome, this is Real Dawn, and this is Hydroneer. So the last time we were here, it was just a very simple operation. And well, I spent a little money, spent a little time, sold a few gigantic necklaces, sold a few rings, sold some Goliath-sized swords to get enough money to set up my little operation that I'm showing you now. Alright, so I kind of put a little bit of a shack. I had to increase my width by 1 panel's width, which I probably could enlarge it a little bit more, but I didn't want to move my equipment farther than I already had. So I have my 2 drills, the processor, I have it where it, my gem polisher, and it skirts around here. I just kind of put a little canopy over the top with some lights where it gets dropped through these hoppers after being sorted. And then inside, here awaits my prize. So, it's running fairly smooth. It has a tendency to error, so to speak, whenever I do, whenever I leave, which, you know, it is what it is. So let me see how much iron I got here. 128. Oops.
Huh?
Let's drop that. So this operation I have here is only a means for immediate income. I make simple stuff here, I immediately sell it. I do have a gem press here, so it's making me rather large jewels. I have a truck here. It's currently rather full, and in a moment I will show you why it's full. I'm still sitting on about 12 grand from I think that was about 2 gold bars that I managed to sell in order to come up with some quick cash. I want the iron bar. I'm gonna put the cloudium back in. I don't need it per se just yet. Just like I have plenty of the power bars, so I'm gonna go ahead and drop that back in. Let that process back up for me. So I thought about taking it all down to 1 level, but then I was like, you know what? I didn't mind the step up. You know, so I could kind of see the stuff come by on the conveyor. I can watch it, the conveyor from underneath, and then I can immediately process it right here from the cauldron down to a bar. Let's see here. Alright. Let me drop that in the truck. So here we have it. This is, you know, our base station, for lack of a better word. When I need quick money, this is where I've been coming, because I can quickly process after I repair everything, that is. Because as soon as I leave, it tends to break. But I will fix everything, then make a couple quick items, make a little cash, and now we're off. If I can drive straight. Alright, and now we're back to our destination here. I'm gonna back in real quick and I will show you where all my money's gone. unfortunately my operation here isn't as smoothly running as I would like. I meant to do a lot of this on camera, but you know how it goes. You start doing one little thing, an hour later you're significantly more involved than you initially intended. So I've got a handful of smelters and funnels and sorters, and then I will have to, I got my money with me, so I will have to purchase a bunch of pipe. Once I get in, go down the elevator to my little new mine. I sold a few items, made enough money to purchase, and then get started on laying out basically laying out a whole new operation. Right now it's temporarily set up. I'll show you when I get in there. I intend on coming up here and purchasing a bunch of I meant to sell that. Oh well. I will just bring that down with me. And the money can ride with me. Back this up just a little bit more. So I have figured out, and that actually works pretty well. If you backed in this zone fairly close to the wall here, whatever you send from inside the mine, it will land in the back of your truck, and it lands with no problems. You know, I didn't know if it would bounce out or if it would have issues stacking. Nah, it's all good. No problems of any sort there. So let's run over to the big forge, and I will show you what I'm working on here. I have the mold, I guess you can say, for the harvester, the drill, and I even bought one of these to test it out. I wanted to see how it worked. I didn't see any improvement, and I did learn a little expressway back to my operation. So here is everything I sent through. It's down here, and here is my broken operation. Alright, cool. So, power bars, drills, spits it out on the conveyors. It chops it up a little extra because I was having clumpage issues. And then I get a bucket of resources. So at first I was going to put a conveyor back around to the side, and then I decided that I would try something different. So I went and bought all of these, except for I need the pipe. Anyway, the point is I was going to lay these out on a section of pipe. I'll put a T here or here, and then I could put splitter, splitter, splitter all lined up in a row. Have it dump out into a funnel and a bucket, or if I can make it to where I have enough height, because I may need to step up in height, and then I can actually have the funnel positioned just high enough where alright, well, it ain't gonna lock there for me, but the point stands is, like, you know, I would set it up to where I have the funnel locked in place over top of the cauldron. So I was doing a simple manual mode before I decided that, you know what, I'm gonna go get some equipment to help automate this process. My extra processor over here is kind of in the way. But like I said, I have him. I may utilize him to get the height I need in order to split the conveyor high enough, since I can't dig in this area. So I bought the tier 2 shovel, and you can't dig in this dirt. You can dig back there though, so it's kind of weird. I'll have to get used to how that part works. Yeah, so this is where I've ended up in my game. It's taken a few hours worth of game time to kind of piece this together. I was not sure how I wanted to do it, but because this is the pay dirt, I think I can process multiple layers. I haven't tried to see if that messes with anything, or even I might even open up a new game and put it in creative mode or something to see if I can go back farther, because I just did the using the rake. I just did a couple spots with it to smooth it out, and then that's kind of how I set up my operation. If you know of a better way to do what I've done, feel free to leave me a comment. I would very much appreciate it. After all, this is one of those games where there's like 1.5 million different ways of doing stuff. Not everybody's gonna think of the same thing as somebody else, and that's okay. The important thing is that as a community, I guess I can say it that way, but is that we, if we know something that would help people out, we share it. Let other people know, and that just kind of help speed the process of learning this game. I mean, it's such a fun game. It's I don't know, I feel more creative playing this than I do any of my other games lately, so for what that's worth. Alright, cool. Well, I will stop this video here. So this was kind of just a short one. I kind of wanted to introduce the underground and kind of show how I'm setting it up. The next time I record, I'm hoping I will have the rest of my operation all finalized, have my splitters running, have it set up to where I just gotta come down and hit the bars and off to the races I go, because it's a shame that there's not more to do down here, but it is cool, and the pay dirt's pretty well. This bucket doesn't look like it's full or filled very full, but if I take it back to my other base and run it through the machines there, it actually ends up making pretty decent income. So is what it is. But anyway, this has been Revamp playing Hydroneer, and thanks for watching. Welcome back. This is Revamp, and I went ahead and finished off a preliminary setup. It's a little crude, tends to break, but it's operational. And so from here I can actually go ahead and acquire enough iron and Cloudium in order to advance to the next tier of equipment. And I think the way I've planned it out is I have room for one more conveyor, and I can chisel out the dirt here, move this over, and I could stage 3 drills in that area. Maybe 4 if I do it right. My processor seems to be handling it okay, so ideally I'd like to upgrade him to the level 2. So I have a gem polisher. I have my pressure is 245, so it's pretty decent. I had to snake the conveyor belts around a little bit. It's a little janky, but it works. I have a mystery bar of iron. Ooh, that's a good bar. 746 weight. I believe I need it to be 1,000 to go for the next tier of equipment. Oops. So I'm just going to drop that back in, let that process more. Hopefully by next time I harvest it, it will be over 1,000. And then I just have to concentrate on getting Cloudium. So, with all that being said, it's kind of crude, but it works. I haven't built anything else in here. But I was tempted. I mean, this was like a 20-something thousand stack when I first started. It's down to 1,900, so I've spent a lot. But it's what I'm tempted to do is take this setup, once it's perfected, mirror it over here, because I think it's equal amount of space, so I could have a double operation on it. I haven't tested to see if I can put flooring in, because I would like to put floors and, you know, walls and that kind of stuff, if it can be done. But in the meantime, I just wanted to get a functional operation, and it's working, and I have no complaints. Like I said, it just cost me a fair bit. Granted, I had already purchased the property before, and that was what, 7,000 something, and then I had 20 grand left over, and I blew through that quickly buying all the equipment. I actually have 2 parts over here. I was gonna run a secondary operation like I was talking about, so I had the iron, so I created one of these.
Huh?
But it's just sitting idle because, well, I'm not ready for that part yet. And the other thing I bought is the gem crusher, or the combiner. And I'm not quite ready to utilize it yet, because I think what I'm going to have to do is remove my funnel, put an elbow in, do a corner piece of conveyor, do my piping down and over, put a slope conveyor in, and then I can, at the bottom of the slope conveyor, I can have this guy there, and then, but I don't know, I see slope ups, I don't see it, I don't know if there's a slope down, or if that's not even a thing, but I'm currently toying with ideas on how to go about it. The other option is I I lay out my piping, and then I just do a elbow or a corner conveyor, and then I just step down 1 block's width and do a straight piece that feeds right into the side of this. And then I would just have to hope that all the gems stay on the conveyor, drop down, stay on the conveyor, and they don't get flung off out into space. But I did save you guys the pain and agony of watching the slideshow. So I put in place this setup here, but I didn't have any conveyors running to it. I was just taking a bucket that was, it was getting fairly full after just 20 minutes runtime. And I came over here and I dumped it. And yeah, I went to like 1 frame a second for about 3 to 5 minutes while I figured out what the hell it was doing. So I instead went and spent my money, bought conveyors. So now it spits out from here right onto the conveyor, and I completely negate having a slideshow. So we'll call it a lesson learned. Anyway, this is what we ended up with, and this has been Real Don. Thanks for watching.